Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Finally, the report that Nigerians have been waiting for is out. We're talking about some few days ago, CJN Ekon had gone all out, insisting that this whole drama that is playing out in the judiciary must stop. Don't forget that there have been these counter judgments going on between Rivers, Kano, and the Federal High Court of Abuja, and they have decided to put a lot of petitions, and National Judicial Council have decided to look into the erring judges. And the report is out, and from what we are gathering, the CJN is out of the country. As soon as she comes in, the first and probably the last for the year, if nothing happens, be having a meeting where that matter will be trashed. But while Nigerians are looking up to very seriously on what is going on in the judiciary and hopeful that erring judges will be, tackled and punished accordingly, some top legal luminaries are beginning to seriously pushing because of the things that are going on. We're going to go to the news proper to find out exactly what is going on behind the scene. But before we go into the news proper, my colleague is in the house. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, ahead of the constitution of the report, top lawyers in the country have been piling pressure on the National Judicial Council (NJC) regarding the latest crisis that erupted in Rivers State in the last few days, arising from conflicting orders by two High Court judges of coordinate jurisdiction on whether or not local government election in the state should hold on October 5th, 2024. Now, some of the stakeholders pushing the position are respected members of the inner bar. Among them are the former member of Imo State House of Assembly, Chief Mike Ahamba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, one-time Abia State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Awa Kalo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, renowned academic professor, that's the person of Professor Chidi Anselm Odinkalu, and respected Silk Chief Samuel Jubril Okuntikpe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria as well, SAN. Now, the lawyers who describe the current practice of 7 judges in the country to struggle for jurisdiction in political crisis or political case as embarrassing said that until examples are made, the integrity of the judiciary will continually putting the nation's democracy at risk. Report has it that sometimes in May this year, under the watch of the immediate past Chief Justice Olukayode Arinwola, 3 judges of coordinate jurisdiction, Justice Mohammed Liman, Justice S.A.S. Amwebede, and Justice Amina Aliyo, in quick succession, similarly granted conflicting orders in Kano emirship disputes, which not only heated up the polity and scandalized the judiciary, but also left Kano Emirate with 2 substantive emirs till date. Now, both Justice Mohammed Liman and Justice S. Amwebede are serving under the Federal High Court bench, while Justice Amina Aliyu is of the Kano State. Although Chief Justice Ariwola invited the heads of the Federal High Court and Kano State High Court to his Abuja office to get first-hand information on the circumstances surrounding the issuance of the embarrassing conflicting orders, report has it that none of these 3 judges handed off the case until judgment, while none was sanctioned. But upon her assumption of office, the new CJN said it would not be business as usual. However, few days after her elevation, 2 judges, Justice Peter Lifo of the Federal High Court Abuja and Justice Chigozie Igwe of the Rivers State High Court Port Harcourt, issued conflicting orders regarding local government elections that recently held in Rivers State. Now, the conflicting orders had set the state on fire. Now, judgments, according to Okuntikpe, one of the senior legal luminary, and others, now stated that following the shenanigans, a firebrand advocate, Mr. Samuel Jibril Okuntikpe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, who did not mention any particular case, had wondered aloud why impeccable elder statesmen of the bar were keeping mum in the face of warning integrity of the legal profession. In those days, I'm quoting him, he said, in those days when members of the legal profession were the hope of the marginalized and the oppressed, there were strong and impeccable elder statesmen of the legal profession. When any member within the legal profession exhibited conduct that had potential of lowering the integrity of the legal profession, these elders waded in and ensured that the integrity of the legal profession did not suffer jeopardy in the hands of bad legal practitioners and judges. Do we still have elders of Spartan courage? I am asking because the legal profession is in need of elders who can save the profession from coming to a calamitous end. Today, judgments that defied logic and justice are filed here and there. They are all flying here and there. There are strong perceptions of state capture of our justice system. Politics has entered into the legal profession. Where are our elders? He asked. This is not the best time for the legal profession, he added. Now, Professor Odinkalu still went further. He said, also reacting, a former chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, Professor Chidi Anselm Odinkalu, said that the joke now is that court orders these days are so lucrative that many judges make them, in good old Nigerians, speak double-double, as if they bring it double-double. Responsibility for this sorry state lies mostly with the Federal High Court. The ancient city of Kano now has two emirs, one state and the other federal, after a rogue Federal High Court judge decided to take chieftaincy into the federal realm. Edo State has two deputy governors too. By dint of the judicial labors of Peter Lifo, a judge, the Federal High Court also attempted to impose two separate dates on Rivers State for the conduct of local government elections after Chigozie Igwe, a judge of the High Court of Rivers State, had issued a considered decision setting 5th of October as the date for the election. Rivers State Governor Fubara acknowledged Peter Lifo's hard work by handing him the moniker of that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment. This is not the first time the Federal High Court will graciously constitute itself into an appellant forum to review without benefit of the records of proceedings and with the practiced ill will of a political hit job dressed up in judicial robes decisions of state high courts. Nor is it the first time that the Federal High Court will convert itself into a court of unlimited jurisdiction. It is not at the expense of a state high court, which under the Constitution is indeed the only court of unlimited jurisdiction. This Federal High Court has become the place where the law falls into disrepute and Lady Justice suffers repeat rape, he added. Now, NBA also reacted. They said the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, which has also lamented the menace of conflicting judgment from the affected High Court judges, concerned the scheduled election, stated that even if a court has directed the police not to work with the Electoral Commission on Rivers State, nothing says the police should not provide security for peace and order of Rivers State, adding that the refusal to provide security was not only unconstitutional but also illegal, immoral, and dangerous, and a dangerous signal that invites lawlessness and undermines democracy. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Ahamba, also spoke. A respected member of the Inner Bar, Chief Mike Ahamba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, has also expressed revulsion at the practice of judges granting conflicting orders to heat up the polity and scandalize the judiciary. Let me quote him word for word. He said, "Those who are supporting the Federal High Court in this affair should let us know under what section of the Constitution a Federal High Court has jurisdiction on matters outside the purview of Section 251 of the Constitution," adding that the Federal High Court in the first place ought not to hear such matter. He said that the National Judicial Council, NJC, should not wait for petition when this kind of things happen, advising that they should make reference to the law, call the errant judge to order and punish him. He added that under one or two judicial officers are retired, he added that until one or two judicial officers are retired, others will not sit up. Now, Professor Kalu also spoke. He said, also contributing, Professor Awa Kalu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, said that a federal high court has no jurisdiction to entertain cases on local government and its affairs, just as he wondered why a high court judge would order police not to perform its constitutional duty. A federal high court, a state high court, and a national industrial court are equal under the Constitution. What we expect as law-abiding citizens is that no court should place itself beyond another when you're on the same level. When you have local government election, why should it be controlled by federal high court? And again, the primary duty of the police is to maintain law and order. So why should a court direct police not to do what they are supposed to do? Maintenance of law and order, he queried. Now my colleague is in the house. Many Nigerians are honestly and desirously waiting to hear what CJN Ekokore would say. Because although she's not in town, but in the moment, no distant time, she'll be back in town. People are insinuating that, being that the golden boy of the judiciary, according to Sowore, that the FCT minister have built houses or is building houses for judiciary. So to speak, he's the darling of the judiciary right now. And don't forget that he has very high stake and high interest in River State matter. And this River State matter is what is bringing all these erring judges out. Both Rivers and Kano, particularly River State. And these are legal luminaries, inner bars, higher guys, luminaries in the inner bar, now insisting that let's forget any kind of sentimental relationship. We don't mingle with politicians. Call a spade, hit them, retire those who are erring, and let's look at the Constitution. You don't even need to wait for petition. Do the right thing, regardless of who's being God. Now, the question is it going to be a case of giving favor, or is it a case of following the law? Nigerians are watching. What's your take on this?
Well, the situation in the country, especially the economic situation, has pushed many of them to start acting in this way, to end up being in the pay list of some of these politicians.
300% of increment, shouldn't you?
Even with 300% increment, Nigerians, unfortunately, where we have found ourselves, everybody seems to be on the competing line. Well, who's going to drive the best car? Who's going to build the choicest house and all of that? Who's going to retire fine? Who's going to live big? Who's going to travel abroad? All of that is stuck in the brains of Nigerians, such that even when you want to skyrocket their salaries, they still need that extra money. And apart from that, being around the corridor of power makes them feel powerful, but not knowing that when it comes to the judiciary, what gives them that sustained respect is the ability to be blind to anyone who comes to the court, but look deeply into the Constitution to make their standing. Just imagine some of the things that have been reiterated, like the issue of the Kano state. Two emirs are currently existing, though the state government recognized Sanusi, but the other one is still hanging. Cases are in court. The same thing also in Rivers State. Governors, the other one is not ready to let go, though the court said after everything he's going to be penalized and all of that. We also see the case in River State, cases that with human logic, we all know, you don't even need to look at, the case, look at what is, the Constitution. We all know that these cases are meant to be handled at the state level. These things are provided for in the Constitution. Cases that have to do with local government, it has no place in the federal high court. It is meant, there are some cases that you look at it, virtually all the defendants are at the state level, but someone, the plaintiff, is dragging it, or the complainant is dragging it to the federal. Nobody says, and there are some cases that are already at the state level. Before now, what we know whenever it comes to cases like these suits being brought up, there will be investigation. This case you are bringing up, I hope it is not in any other court of competent jurisdiction, no? And then you say, oh, it's not, or it is.
I guess that's what San Ahamba is saying that you mentioned the courts that are of the same equal level.
Exactly.
You can't be trying to. You have unlimited jurisdiction. How?
You understand? There is nobody that have no court that have unlimited jurisdiction. The federal high court handle things that are pertaining to the federal high court. To the federal. The state has a lot. You look at the people that constitute both the complainant and defendant. And on the basis of that, you now decide. You see, the state governor is brought in, the local government, they are brought in, the state, the attorney general of the state is brought in, and all of that. Central Bank that you're talking about, don't they have an office in Rivers State? They do have, and if you forward any court orders to them, they will send it to the federal. That's to the number one man in Central Bank who will respond. So, but guess what? They keep dying up and down. It's so. I wish and I pray that Kekere will go beyond whoever that is concerned to do the right thing, because whether we like it or not, politicians will come and go. But Judiciary, the law will stand. The president that you have left behind, you'll be remembered for it. Leave these politicians. They know their own business is to see how they can drag you into their mess. Refuse to be a part of it. Sustain, and kind of reawaken the respect people had for democracy, for judiciary once again.
Even if one doesn't know anything about the Constitution, we all were taught at some point in our educational life. I think secondary school, even primary school, let's even forget about the university now, where they will tell you the primary role of the police is to safeguard life and property.
Exactly.
It's taught everywhere. If you have gone through, even if you just secondary school gone, you go to. And now that same police security guys agency are now being mandated by the same Justice Lifo in Federal High Court that they should not provide cover. They should not provide security. Literally mandating them not to do their constitutional duty. They should not perform their constitutional duty. That's what Sanahamba is saying, that even if you don't even know anything, that is so contradictory. Mandating the police not to do what they have been created to do.
Who are you? Are you bigger than the Constitution?
Exactly.
Are you bigger than the Constitution?
So he was just insisting, look, Akekere, we were looking up to you. Slam! If you need to retire. There has to be sanctions, or else it's not going to stop. There have been sanity before now. You can't just come in wherever you are. If you don't, punish some people, others won't sit up. And if you ask me, that's nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Let's interact. Do you think, in all sincerity, these erring judges will be sanctioned, or there will be some persons who will receive the heaviest?